Good morning. I'm running late this morning. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday, November 30th, 2021. My name is Terry Morgan. We're here to practice Wudang Taiji. Again, I'm running a bit late this morning. I have I had a long week last week and I was sleeping in this morning. So let's get started. Basic stretch. Stand over here. Feet about shoulder width apart. Stand straight. And wiggle everything. Fingers, open the arms. Feet, toes, knees. And circle the front. And back around to both sides. Up along the center line. Stretch out. Elbows drop down, wrists, fingertips, hands return to your sides. All right, a little more coffee, of course. All right, we have parts 1 and part 2, 1 and part 2 of Wudang Taiji. We're going to review part 1, and then we're going to continue on with part 2. We have almost reached the end of this series, so I am moving things along a little bit, and we're going to pay attention to things in a little bit different way coming up after the beginning of the year. What I'm intending to do is to take the changes every day and adjust that so that there's more of a group. So maybe Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday we're practicing one thing, and Thursday and Friday we practice something else. We will finish Wudang Taiji Sword before I make that kind of a change. So as I kind of bring things to a close for Yan style Tai Chi and for Wudang style Tai Chi, we'll be reviewing and paying attention to some of the finer detail that I'm going to emphasize in the next series. Let's get started. Wudang style Tai Chi, part 1. Feet together, stand straight. Relax, breathe. Salute. Breathe in, breathe out. And breathe in, all the way to the right, open the left. Excuse me. One more time. Stand straight, feet together. Pull up through the crown of the head. Salute. Breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. Sink. Open. And turn. Pull up, and down. Center, palm supporting heaven, alligator playing in the water. Yin and yang both appear. Push. Pull down. and push. Shift back. 四上弹掌. 4 directions turning palm. Turn to the front, 3 rings around the moon. Twin dragons come out of the cave. Dragon and tiger join together. Hand strum loop. Golden rooster. Raise the leg, lift up in. Ang, Nu, Ji, An. Double cloud hands. Single cloud hands. Pull the ball. Lift up in. Ward up. Ward up again. Pull down. Press. And push. Double cloud hands. Single cloud hands. Single loop. Both palms out. Shot chin out. White crane spreads its wings on the face. Up and brush knee. Dragon and tiger join together. Hand strum the loop. Step back. Hand strum the loop. To the right. Heel. Come center. To the left. Heel. Brush knee. Dragon and tiger. Step up. Punch down. 来汉在一 and close. Relax. I'm going to do part 2 in just a second. There are some things that I'm kind of paying attention to this morning that are part of my practice. And I'm going to talk about this for just a second before we start part 2. The emphasis that you just saw is application. It's application. As I was practicing, part of my thinking, part of my thought process, part of my intent, part of my idea, the things that I had in mind as I was practicing. In one part, and it's pretty clear in my moves, I had a little bit more emphasis on the applications. I had something that has annoyed me this morning. It completely different than some of the other stuff, right? It's just me and myself, right? Me and myself, just, that's it. And as I was paying attention to my practice, little extra energy that I was putting into a few of the moves, part of that, put the coffee up. Part of that is something that we should learn how to do. Part of that is something we should learn how to put aside. Part that we should learn how to do is this idea of taking the energy, whatever it is we have, bringing it into what we're doing, and releasing it through what we're doing, right? So there are times when I have been annoyed, is not actually the word that I'm thinking of, but I'm going to use it for right now. I have been annoyed, and I would have enjoyed having the opportunity to wrap my hands and go punch a heavy bag. I would have. Would have been good. I had that same kind of energy this morning. So let's do part 2. And then I'm going to see if I can smooth that out just a little bit. Not too much, because in fact, one of the important, very important practice methods that we want to develop is the idea that each and every one of the movements that we're doing has a minimum of one very clear application. Minimum. Many of them have 3 or 4. Many of the movements, I'm going to say that again, many of the movements in our Tai Chi systems, all of them, not just this one, all of them, have multiple applications for self-defense. It's not, I've said this before, Tai Chi is mindful, it's intentional, and that intent includes a martial art. If that part of practice is absent, doesn't mean we're doing it every day. It means that if it is not part of the total practice, if all the practice is nice rhythmic movement, that can be healthy, it can be enjoyable, it's not traditional Tai Chi. We don't ignore the applications. We don't. They are part of even the softest, the most gentle movement. Part 2. Yeah, here I am. Feet together, stand straight. Part 2, Wudang style Tai Chi. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in. Salute. Breathe out. One more time. Breathe in. Breathe out. Sink. Open. Come up on the left, down on the right. Center. Alligator playing in the water. Yin and yang both appear. Return the tiger to the mountain. Double cloud hands. Single cloud hands. Stop on the left. Raise the leg, lift up yin. Open. Palm, push. Tongue, chi an. Ward off. Press. Pull down. Push. Palm. Palm. It's 2 of them. Single cloud hands. Separate. Press out. 1, 2, 3. And down. Shift back. Push back the monkey. Knee with C bottom, fan through the back. Come around, deflect downward, parry, and punch. Double cloud hands. Single cloud hands. Single whip. Cloud hands again. 1. Step back, 2. Ready, and up, down, set, come on up. To the left, with the toe, brush knee. Come around to the right, with the toe, brush knee. Set, up. One, 2, down. 1, 2, 3. Sit back. Turn. And close. All right, that was a little energetic and maybe a little more than I might should have done, but I did it. All right, we're going to review this last part. The turn at the end. We do a full 360, and it should be airborne. Okay? Me being airborne for that particular turn never happened. Me being airborne for the jump before that, yes. And that will come back. All right, the turn in the air, yeah, I'll work on that. As we move through the forms, paying attention to where we're going, how we move, the emphasis that we put on the particular movement, and the underlying applications for that move are all important and essential to complete practice. I'm going to say it again. The emphasis that you see from me, you're seeing from me today, is because I'm annoyed. And my effort, fix the light, and it shows in my effort. It shows. Now, this idea that our emotional state, we're doing some more. Especially this last part. I'm trying to adjust the light to compensate for daylight out here because I started late this morning. All right, this idea that as we're moving, right, we're taking whatever that energy is that we have, and we bring it up and we use it. Okay. Talked about that a little bit yesterday. It was much quieter. It was quieter yesterday. I was in a different mood yesterday. Okay. So as we're working, this is important for all of our practice. The energy that we have, the internal energy, the emotional energy, the physical energy that we put into our practice is what we develop. If we're too happy, too sad, too angry, too annoyed, too upset, too something, too much, don't do it. You hurt yourself. I meant that, yeah, well, I'm a little bit over here. I'm not all the way over here. So, my effort shows a little bit more energy. We can get a little bit more spice, I would say. All right, so a little bit spicier than it might be otherwise. And I'm going to show you this right now. As we come up to the end of Wudang style Taiji. Yeah. 1, 2, down, up, 3. This set, and I'm going to slow it down. I just did close to what I showed it first time. I'm going to slow it way down. And I'm going to take that energy. I'm going to set it over there on the side for just a minute. Okay? Now, being able to do that's a skill as well. All right? Nice and easy. Both of these methods are correct. Both are correct for practice. If we never practice the first one, the second one is always going to be incomplete. One, two. Little emphasis on the heel. It's a kick. If we're going to apply it, it's going to have a little bit more emphasis. All right? That application, that intent. Say, I have a heavy bag there. I want that bag to move. A heavy bag, drop down here. I'd be a good place to put it. Might be able to put it there. Heavy bag right here. I want to hit the bag. That's my goal. I'm going to hit the bag. If I don't incorporate that in part of my practice, right? Much softer, bag wouldn't have moved. I still would have hit it. That idea, harder, softer, I have a range within which I work. Very soft to not so soft. Being able to do that, to adjust that range, is one of the things that we work for. We want that skill. I want to decide, today I'm going to do this, tomorrow I'm going to do that. Right now I'm going to do this, next I'm going to do that. That ability to choose, that ability to make those decisions consciously and then to put them into practice. This is practice right here. Put them into practice is a huge part of what we work for in our practice. It's not, I can do this move, I can do that, I can do this. It's the ability to decide, the ability to choose which one that gives us the ability to master the art. Okay? It doesn't come from understanding more. It doesn't come. It's important understanding more, but it doesn't come from that. It comes from practice. You have to get up and do it. There is no other way. Practice. All right, let's practice. And as we come around, let's just do this ending part, all right? So as we step, right, open left, set, go to the right. Now we're going down. 1, 2, 3. And up. A couple more times. I'm going to turn and go this way. As we sink, this idea, this hand stays up, this hand follows the leg to come up. Alright? As we come up the last time, down, out. Both hands together. rhinoceros horn. Both hands come out. Again. Ready? And left, right, down, come through, come through, come through, set back, out. Again. This series, snake creeps along the ground continuously. Shingle is also part of Wudang's 3 basic methods. On the right, ready to left. Hands crossed. 1, 2, down. 1, 2, 3, sit back. As we set, pull in and then out. This matters. Talked about applications. This matters. All right? Pay attention to this kind of a recoil. Yeah, I'm doing it this morning, so hey, pay attention. This, I have my days, all right? The speed and emphasis, force that we use must be coordinated through the whole body. It's not just the hands. So as we set back, sink and come from under. This doesn't come out here. This comes from under. All right? Right foot, set. 1, 2, down. Set. The ability to go up and down to the floor and come back up, takes a lot of core strength, a lot of hold through the abs to support the body, and a lot of leg strength, as well as a great deal of strength in the hip and flexibility in the hip to be able to open the leg to do this. Okay? It's not nearly as simple as being able to do this with your hand. Okay? I can take my arm up here and I think about, here's what's my shoulder doing, right? What am I doing with my shoulder as I make this change, right? Doing that with your leg, not as easy. If you're a 3-year-old, it's good, but yeah, for most adults, we don't think about being able to do that. It takes a bit more practice, it takes a bit more work. That's why we're here. Just one more time, and then we're going to work on this ending. And then we're going to work on the ending. Stop there. Right foot front. Hands crossed. Ready? And left. Right. Down. 1, 2, 3. Set back and under. As we set, we're here. In order to jump, okay, in order to jump and make this airborne, I need to have more of my weight on my left foot than my right. This is the one that has to go up. This is the one. Let me put it another way. This is the one that drives me up. So here. This takes me up, this comes around, I come down and double punch. I'm going to walk through it, and I'm going to show it with my turn. Turn. Come around. Place it. And up. I didn't jump. And I talk about this quite, I'm going to talk about it quite a bit. I never have been able to do that in a year. I know people who can. I know quite a few people who can. The gentleman that taught me Wudang Taiji can do this. Okay? Most of his students can do this. I started out late, and it seemed like every time I tried this jump, I landed wrong and I hurt myself. So I stopped trying. Right? I landed wrong, I twisted my ankle, I twisted my hip, I twisted side. I did something that caused me an injury. So my thinking I'm going to get airborne and do this turn takes some effort for me. And if I'm ever going to do it, it's probably going to be sometime in the future. Right? I'm not really working for it. What I did was, and this is, again, this is one of those things. What I did was to adapt this particular move for something that I could do, and that's a spin. Turned out really good for my bagua. Do my spinning in bagua. But in this case, and I'm pointing this out because my goal for these sessions, we're going to do it again. My goal for these sessions is to not only offer the opportunity for practice, but to document what I know about what I'm doing. There's quite a bit that is not on these videos yet. Right? There's more. As I'm doing this, as I'm going through this, I do not want to leave out anything. And I want to make sure that my limitation, not being able to get up and spin in the air, does not impede somebody else who could do it. Alright? Tons of folks out there can do that move. Tons of folks can jump up in the air, do a spinning outward kick, and come back down. That's what belongs here. Set. Turn. Ready. And spin. Up and out. Now, outward, crescent, outward sweep, whatever you want to call it. This leg comes up and goes out. If I walk this through, set here, hip, all the way up, and as the foot comes across, we actually do hit it. All right? So, just did the turn. This is a basic exercise that anybody that has ever studied martial arts in China learns as a drill their very first week. It's one of those fundamental things that you should know, everybody knows, it's part of, and we need to do it. This is one that I actually can do. I can do both sides too. Yeah? Alright, so sweep out, hit, bring it down. Set, turn, Ready? Spin all the way around. As we do that spin, and I talked about this with Yang style Tai Chi, spot. The idea that we pay attention to where we're going. I'm here. I'm going to return to here. My head leaves last and comes around first. In dance, we call this spotting. I'm going to pick a spot, and I'm going to pay attention to that spot. That's my spot. As I come around, I focus on that. If I'm not paying attention to it, my turn will be off balance, wobbly. I won't end up where I need to end up, right? And as we start this turn, we need to pay attention to not only the spin, but the idea that as I'm spinning on my right foot, left comes up, right? This takes me up in the air. If I was going to jump, right? If I'm going to jump, step right, up left. Bad jump, but you get the idea. My right foot brings the left up. Just try. You do with me. Do it with me. I'm going to step right. Bring the left knee up. Jump. Change legs. Left comes up, left goes down. Step right, left up, down, right's up. That adjustment, we need to stay straight. As we're turning, set, turn, ready? One more. Set. Ready? Both fists come up at the same time. Similar, we're on an angle here, similar to what we're paying attention to in Twin Dragons Come Out of the Cave at the very beginning of the form. Pull up and down and cross and close. Sip of coffee, we do one more time. One more time. Set. Turn. Spin. Up. And down. Close. Salute. Whole thing. Ready? Right foot front. Cross hands. Left is in the back. Ready? 1, 2. Down. 1, 2, 3. Set. Turn. Ready. Up. And close. Now I'm going to call out this because it's important as well. Wudang style Tai Chi closes in the same place, facing the opposite direction as when we start. Most Tai Chi systems, Yang style included, Wu style included, Chen style included, Guangping Yansai, the major Taiji systems, close facing the same direction as when you started. Return to the beginning. It's important. Okay? It's part of the philosophy behind the forms. So I'll talk about that another time. We come back to where we started. This gives us our stepping. So if your stepping method, if your stepping is off, if you got this part is wide, this part is short, this part, you won't return to the same place. Even stepping is something that we want to work for. That's what gets us back to. It's the way the form is built. That's what gets us back to the beginning where we started. When we have to adjust the step, and I have to adjust the step, there's just no other way around it. At some point, one of the practice methods that we need to learn is how to keep the step even, keep each movement even, so that we do, in fact, return to where we started. In the other systems, we end up facing the same direction. In Wudang style Tai Chi, we face the opposite direction. So I start out here, right? And I should finish here. How do we do that? I practiced on the beach. Sand, leaving footprints, right? I could see my footprints. I could see where I was stepping. I could see where I started, I could see where I ended. Practicing on dirt, again, where you can see your footprints. This is, I'll talk about that in a second. Practicing on dirt, practicing on a surface that you can see where you stepped, physically see where you stepped, is a tremendous help in being able to make those adjustments to the stepping method. All right, I'll show this for a second. All right, so here, this is what we're working on. We're working on today, right? So we step here, 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3. Shift back, come forward, turn. And close. Again, take a little bit bigger step this time. I don't have enough room. I don't have enough room. Right foot front. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Set. All right, just barely. That adjustment, how big is my step? How much ground am I covering? What am I trying to do with my step? That's part of our practice. We need to be able to do that. All right, one more time. Just a little bit easy. Set. 1, 2, down 1. Down 2, down 3, 4. Up, turn, pull it in, and down. Close, salute. Being able to follow this on video is difficult. Give yourself credit. Give yourself credit. It can be a challenge to follow it in person. Alright? Being able to follow it on video. Give yourself credit for doing that. As we move, this idea that I'm facing the camera here. I started out not facing, I started out this direction. I wasn't starting out over here, right? That change is another one of those things that we just have to pay attention to. Which direction am I going? Which direction am I supposed to be facing? Right? As we come through single whip on the 45, palms come out. I'm going over to the 45. 1, 2. Here, straight. Those changes are a whole lot easier to see in physical proximity. I can move around so that you can stand behind me and follow through. I can change direction, right? So that it's easier. You're standing here, I'm standing here. Now, what are we going to do? Right? You're not going to see what I do if you're standing over here. I can have you stand over here, or I can move to where I'm standing here. Now, as I turn, you're behind me, right? We don't get to do that in video. We don't. I try. I try and turn it around. There are a couple of videos that I've made, it's 4 of them actually, that I have made of the entire Wudang style Tai Chi form, and I expect to make a couple more with a bit more explanation and a better camera. I'm hopeful that you enjoyed this morning's class. I definitely feel better than I did when I started. And I'll be back tomorrow with Wudang Tai Chi Sword, Thursday and Friday Wudang style Qigong. Hope you join me. Thanks for being here.